here. Lexie, how are you? How is Miami?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Miami's been great. It's 80 degrees all week, so no complaints over here.
Okay, good. And so have you been liking that, like being stationed in Miami throughout this cold winter?
Yes, yeah. Otherwise, it'd be in Indianapolis and it's freezing there. So happy to be here. And a lot of my friends and family also have been visiting and excited to visit because of the weather. So it's a great place to be.
Okay, that's actually I'm so happy you brought that up. So has your sister made it out? Have you guys hit the 305 together yet?
We have. She was here a couple weeks ago. So yeah, she's made it out and she's coming again in February. So it should be fun.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. And so I know you've been on before and people know your story. I get curious when people come from a family where you get to practice with like a sibling, your dad played. At what age did you know you were really good? And not only were you going to be great in college and win a championship or two, but also extend and play professionally?
I mean, I didn't really think I was going to play professionally when I went to college. It was never like the dream of mine. And then kind of playing, I just coming up to my senior year, I didn't want to be done and thought that it was a great opportunity. So I figured I'd try, but it definitely didn't picture this job for me like years ago, but so like grateful for the opportunity now. But yeah, it's crazy to get to play and get paid for it.
Right. And like you're saying you didn't really know, but then 6 overall, 2022, that class is unreal too. Do you remember that feeling of getting your name called and you're like, "Okay, this is gonna be my future at least for the next couple years."
Yeah, that day was absolutely crazy. I wasn't at the draft, and so I didn't. They invited the projected like first round to the draft, so I wasn't projected to go in the first round, let alone six. And I was with my family and my friends, and we were watching at a little like draft party, and none of us were really watching the screen until we heard Stanford guard, and we're like, "Wait a second, that's me!" It was absolutely insane. So definitely just a really great memory that I got to share with all my loved ones.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you're super humble. Like when you look back on that and you think of people, either players at Stanford now or people just looking to make it in the league, is there a piece of advice that you heard along the way that you wish you knew earlier, or maybe something that you've learned since joining the W and playing professionally where you're like, oh man, if I only knew that at a younger age, that would have helped?
I think like just to trust the process. The draft is really intimidating and can be scary, and you can think that it means so much, but at the end of the day, it's how you perform when you get to training camp, when you get to a season. So to stress about where you're going to end up isn't worth it, and I wish I did less of that, because everything works out exactly how it's supposed to be, and everyone's journey is a little bit different. So yeah, I think I would just say just enjoy the moment and trust the process.
Super poetic. And so now fast forward, you're in Miami, you're playing with an unreal team. Like I look at this roster and I'm like, are you kidding everybody all together? Kalia, Chelsea. What's it like playing with Chelsea Gray and getting those no-look passes from the point guard?
I mean, it's great to be on the receiving end of them. And it's like it's just so cool to get to play with players that have so much experience, and you can just tell in the way they practice and the way they communicate with each other that it's at another level. It's a higher level, and I'm trying to soak up as much as I can. And obviously, playing with them is has been really fun. And I think you see that in the highlight tapes that Chelsea has every other day. So it's so fun.
Yeah, and for you, what was the preparation like to be like, okay, by January, I'm gonna be ready to go full court 3-on-3. What were the things that you were focusing on in that off season after the W?
Staying in shape, I think that's a big one for this league. Is it's really fast, and making sure that physically I was ready to go, and that I think started a month or two before January, just making sure my body was back into game shape, and then working on shooting. Teams that make shots are going to win games here, and that's even in 5-on-5, but especially on 3-on-3 because you get a lot more open looks. So yeah, just really getting in the gym and getting ready.
I do want to see when this was recorded. Okay, so this must have been previously recorded. The only reason I'm saying that is because it just sounds like this is like maybe a game or two, or maybe not even a game in. Another thing, Lexie had said that her family would be coming in February. We're already in February, but so I think the conversation might be a little bit different. What I would say is this: like, Lexie Hall's been a pro, and I watched some of her games at Stanford. Nobody really knew or heard of Lexie Hall on the Indiana Fever, and me personally, I love the fact that Lexie Hall's getting her shine. I love the fact that she's getting the opportunity with Unrivaled to showcase her skills. And I think there was a game where she led the Rose to a 19. Or no, she had scored 19 points and she led the Rose to a win. Her and alongside Azrae Stevens off the bench. And I think before that game, she was getting the least amount of minutes. Lexie Hall was getting the least amount of minutes in that league. So I'm just happy Lexie Hall is getting her opportunity to showcase herself. I know she just signed a huge deal with Athleta, I think it was, and I believe Kate Martin signed that deal as well. So just getting the recognition she deserves and getting the sponsorships and endorsements. I love to see that for Lexie Hall. And I love her game on the court, and I love the fact that she was able to elevate herself last year in the WNBA for sure.
And it's so impressive to watch Rose's play because I think you guys do such a good job of facilitating really good shots for each other, and it's a lot of really great looks. So how has that progressed as you guys have gotten to know each other and felt more like a team since playing?
I think we're just building chemistry every day and realizing that because there's so much space on the court. I think originally we came in and we thought that um, we can just go one on one and that'll be a good shot. But I think we're realizing that there's better shots than that because of the spacing on the court. So being able to use each other, cut, have an extra pass, hit those open shots. I think that's something that we're continuing to get better at every single day and every single practice.
And then now there's a moment for you to flex. Like, has there been a play that you've been in this Unrivaled season where you're like, okay, I get it now? Like you were kind of in your bag on an occasion or two?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I think like I love to cut and receive like crazy passes, and I think in our game against our first win against the Mist, I had just some really great receiving catches from Chelsea, and that's just so fun because I think that gets our energy up and it gets everyone into more of a flow when we can use each other really well. So I would say that game was really fun.
And you guys play the Miss tomorrow. You said it was maybe like a more chill practice day before game, but what's the preparation like for you guys and maybe for you specifically too as you go to play the Miss again?
We worked a lot on the actions that they're going to run. Every team has insane rosters, as you know, and every team uses those players differently. So, really just focusing on how they use each of their pieces and the actions that they run for them and figuring out the best way to guard that. That's the main focus. And I think for us, we're just really trying to set our defensive identity, and it's going to come in with locking in on all of those actions that we practiced today.
Got you. And I know you got games to get through, but we do have the one-on-one tournament coming up. And Lexie, man, I'm looking at your bracket. Who are you most excited to play in this pool? Like you have Ryan, she went number 1 overall 2022, same year as you. Like you have Fee. There's just so many players. Katie Lou, you too. Like, is there anybody that you're like, oh man, I cannot wait to go one-on-one against them?
I mean, I'm looking one game at a time. So we're starting it off with Ryan, and it's gonna be a fun one. I mean, we battle during this W season, and she's an incredible player, an incredible one-on-one player. So got my hands full, but I'm really excited about it and excited to get out there and play.
I don't know if you guys remember the clip when the Fever were playing the Dream and Ryan Howard was like tippy-toed out of bounds almost, and Lexie Hall like jabbed her a little bit, like pushed her just a little bit, like gave her a little nudge to get her out of bounds. It was just funny moment. But yeah, I think the biggest one-on-one game for her is going to be that Marina Mabry. I think everybody's looking forward to that Marina Mabry, Lexie Hall. So I'm excited for that. I think that's going to be a movie. But yeah, let's continue.
Hey now. Okay, all right. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the Fever. You guys got some new additions. What was it like hearing the news? And I'm so excited for the Fever to come. So yeah, what is it like for you guys and for the squad looking ahead?
I mean, I think we're just so excited, and I think, I mean, I'm still getting used to this heading into my 4th year, every single season, every team, it looks so different with just the changes across the league and free agency and trades. And I mean, it's like hard to keep it all straight, but finally, like getting to our final roster and seeing what that's going to look like, I'm just excited about the leadership that's coming in and the experience that's coming in. And that's all the way from the top at our coaches, all the way down to people we got. So I'm just excited to learn, and hopefully we can have a longer push in the off season this year.
Oh yeah. And some quick hitters before we let you go. You got your whole day ahead of you. What's the best arena to play in?
So before we even get into that, look, Lexie Hall is super excited, as it seems, but it's probably not more exciting than them getting Caitlin Clark last year. I mean, that was probably their most exciting situation, is her being a WNBA pro, I would assume, as far as free agency goes, in my opinion. But yeah, this is a great interview right here. As you can tell, Lexie's very, very humbled. I love her confidence. I love what she's doing in Unrivaled. It's a great league for her, a league where she's a 3-and-D type girl, and this is going to give her tremendous skills. Or not skills, but sharpen her edge when it comes to one-on-one defense. Excuse me, which will be her role with the Indiana Fever. And like she said, backdoors, cutting, being involved offensively. She's not getting too many threes off this in Unrivaled, but I like how she's playing defensively and cutting and slashing to the rim, finishing around the rim. So I love that for her. Can't wait for them to be back in Indiana. So let's go ahead and let's finish off with the interview. I'll get you guys out of here.
In the W season.
Obviously, Gamebridge Fieldhouse. and it's the fans are the best. It's the loudest. It's the most fun. So obviously, easy answer.
Easy answer. Come on now. Gamebridge. What are we talking about?
Obviously,
Come on
What's
now.
the best arena to play in the W season?
Obviously, Gamebridge Fieldhouse. and
What kind of question is that? Like, obviously, hello, our fans, our arena, hello.
The fans are the best. It's the loudest. It's the most fun. So obviously, easy answer.
Awesome. What is one thing that you're manifesting, if you believe in that, or at least maybe like a bucket list item that you have for 2025?
WNBA Finals Championship.
Hey.
Straight up. We're not playing no games. You see that? That's a dead serious, Lexie. That's after the championship. Okay?
Or manifest,
All right.
if you believe in that, or at least maybe like a bucket list item that you have for 2025.
WNBA Finals Championship.
Like, what kind of question? She's like, what kind of questions are you asking me? Hello, we're here to win a championship, lady. Like, what are you talking about now? Where's the best arena to play? Obviously, Indiana Fever, Gamebridge. Hello. What do you think I was going to say something else? Come on now. What are we talking about?
Fun, so obviously, easy answer.
Easy answer.
Awesome. What is one thing that you're manifesting, if you believe in that, or at least maybe like a bucket list item that you have for 2025?
WNBA Finals Championship.
Like, Did you guys see the little purr and attitude? Like I don't have hair like that. Like, hello, like WNBA Finals champ. Like, super purr on that.
Okay.
WNBA Finals Championship.
Like, what are you asking me?
Okay.
We're speaking that into existence.
Yeah, we're not we're speaking into existence.
Okay. And then I asked
Let it be known.
Olsen this, is she gave me an awesome piece of advice about dating, because we talk to players a lot, and it's like we're talking about basketball. There's so much life beyond that, and her piece of advice for dating was, you never really know, like, it's not going to be a perfect relationship, but you can make it perfect. I was like, okay, that's beautiful. What's like the best piece of dating advice you've ever gotten?
And that's where we stop. Actually, I want to hear it.
Or that you would give out.
Find your best friend. I think it's really cliche, but like, you spend a lot of time together, and you need someone who's going to be in your corner no matter what. So find someone that you love spending time with.
Awesome.
Well said, Lexie Hall. Well said. We'll end it there. Wasn't expecting that question. Well said. I can't wait for you to get back to Indiana and just get to training with all the girls and your new teammates and really just start building that chemistry. And that's one thing that Tasha Howard brought up, is getting to know each other off the court. And I think that's going to be amazing for the Indiana Fever moving forward. And I think that they're going to be able to thrive in the new system with Steph White and just new teammates, and just continue to build that chemistry and get to know each other and play for one another. So super excited. I believe the rest of the interview will be with Azure. I don't know if we're going to do Azure's. Maybe I'll throw it on the other channel. If not, man, I appreciate you guys for watching. Shout out to Lexie Hall. Shout out to Locked On Women's Basketball. I appreciate it. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Shout out to Gigi. I'm out.